I'm sure you all know the drama going on with Unity right now and Unity's stance on creators, on studios, games. It's a very unusual hill to die on. Many players were left concerned that their favorite gacha games would shut down, would begin charging them, would begin implementing advertisements into the game, forcing them to essentially quit. Players were hoping studios would move away from Unity, redevelop their games in an entirely new engine, which is where today's topic spawns from. I noticed this thread over on Reddit earlier, and I was also tagged on Twitter concerning this thread earlier. Mihoyo is mass hiring engine developers right now. Are they going to transition their games to their own engine? I will point out, after this thread was made, it did go on to garner almost 800 upvotes, but it was then further labeled as misleading. We'll go ahead and read through the thread first, and then we'll figure out why it's misleading after the fact. Mihoyo engine development recruitment. Mihoyo engine development recruitment, 39 positions. They have rendering development engineer, engine development for console, cloud game engine development, cloud game engine development engineer, day ago, 18 hours ago. And here's the Chinese translated version of it. Now, I'm assuming here the top upvoted comment is going to clear up any misconceptions we have as to why this is misleading. And I will point out here, if I recall, Genshin Impact, while it uses, and Hoyo games, while they use Unity, I believe they use an altered version of Unity, which means they might have direct control over it. Maybe they don't necessarily, or maybe they won't necessarily be affected by it in the same way. Now, that is speculation. I have no facts to back that up, other than the fact that I've read something akin to that online. OP should read the job descriptions for these positions with a link to the official recruitment page from Hoyo themselves. While that's loading, they've been hiring for these positions for a very long time, and their main job is to analyze and optimize Unity and Unreal Engine 4 engines and to customize it to fit their own needs. Genshin in particular runs on a heavily modified Unity engine, which they've worked on their own. Has nothing to do with the recent Unity fiasco. So here, I haven't read any of the comments, but this pretty much aligns with what I did read online, that Genshin runs on a modified version of the Unity engine. And I think nobody decides to make their own engine a couple days after the Unity announcement, not even Hoyo. And that is true. Like Hoyo, even though they're a billion-dollar, multi-billion-dollar company now, they wouldn't make such a drastic decision, alteration a few days after something this big was announced, was revealed. I gather, or I speculate here that they would wait and see how everything unfolds, because designing their game in Unreal Engine 4, Unreal Engine 5, for example, is going to be a daunting undertaking. Bella Loves Eevee goes on to say, I don't think it affects Hoyo, because they're using Unity based in China, which is not affected by the fiasco from what I heard. Is that true? Because again, let's just take this all with a grain of salt. We don't have direct confirmations here, but if this is in fact true, that means the majority of Chinese gacha games would not be affected by what's going on with Unity. It would only affect what? Western games? Would it affect Japanese or Korean? Before we do go ahead and look at what people have to say though, I want to take a moment here to thank our incredible patrons over on Patreon who allow for me to continue to do dedicated videos like this every single day, covering tons of gacha topics. You guys are insane. Here we have people accusing the subreddit of spreading misinformation. But was this even spreading misinformation? Mass hiring engine developers. Are they going to transition their games? So they have been mass hiring developers for a while now, and this is just imposing the question, are they going to be transitioning? I don't think this is spreading misinformation at all. They're not claiming that the mass recruitment is a new thing. They're not claiming that they are in fact transitioning. They're letting people know this is not at all misleading. I don't think it's misleading anyway. So here's the actual recruitment page. Analyze U3D U4 engines and deeply explore engine performance, create common game function modules and tools to improve the development efficiency of each project, implement special needs for the project, help projects maximize performance, research and implement cutting edge technologies, proficient in... So, I mean, that's just for engine development. And let's be real, there are a lot of positions open right now, let's be real. 528 results. So I think it is still far too early at this juncture to claim that Hoyo, that Genshin Impact, that Honkai Impact, that Honkai Star Rail, that Zenless Zone Zero are all going to undergo mass revamps, mass engine changes. I think at the end of the day, if it is going to very negatively impact Hoyo financially, sure, they will go ahead and make an adjustment that they deem adequate and sufficient so they can continue to earn as much money as they're making. Because at the end of the day, how you affect companies is by hitting them in their wallets, by attacking their bank accounts. So if they're going to suffer a significant loss, they will make an alteration, potentially to the game engine, or they'll strike a deal with Unity. I don't know. Either way, I do not believe that they are going to be mass transitioning over to a brand new engine. I think it is going to be a long time before that happens, if it happens at all. I think that they're going to stick with what they have. I think Unity are in the process of scrambling right now to save face after the disastrous reception they've had, which is completely warranted, mind you. I think gacha games are honestly gonna be okay, but it is at the same time good to know that they're hiring so many new designers, so many new developers, engineers, programmers, because that only means good things. Increased staff means more people working on a game, pushing out additional content, maybe more games being developed. To me, that sounds like a win-win in every capacity. Now, if Hoyo games aren't games you're interested in, absolutely no problem. I got you covered 2 different videos on screen right now. Might be more interest to you.